Hey everybody, yesterday I gave a talk about the fact that AI is disrupting the way organizations work together, human beings are working with each other, and it's quite a challenge to keep track of that, right? We think that leaders don't have an insight problem today to really understand what's happening, but it's extremely hard and extremely slow to gain all these informations. And we still have to rely on the typical workshops and BI dashboards that are giving us information about that. On the one hand, processes are documented, dashboards are everywhere, but action often still doesn't happen. And the root cause for that is pretty clear. It's often quite challenging to document all these processes, so it takes lots of time, special users who do all that. On the other hand, the dashboards are not showing the reality of the business process, and today I will show you how we fix that. So on the one hand, we have the situation that we make it way easier to give all the information that is in the heads of the employees into the system to really document that in an easy way. Wiki kind of style, collaboration kind of style. And on the other hand, we have a very flexible AI-driven tool to reconstruct how the business processes are really happening in the systems in reality. And both things together give you the entire digital twin of the business processes. And that's what I want to show you today. So when we have a look into the typical process intelligence application, we see things like, the business process, how it's running through the systems, where do we have deviations, where do we have bottlenecks, we can select that, we can filter that, and so on, right? We also see things like the process conformance, so how well does the business process run against the business process model. But as I told you before, it's still hard to model the entire process and then to measure against it. So what are the unnecessary steps, what are the skip steps, and so on. So how great would it be to have an AI tool that allows me to do that in an easy way by comparing the business processes that we have reconstructed with the processes that have been documented. And I have a simple example here with this wiki kind of stuff, where we see, okay, here's a detailed description of the triggering of an order in my P2P process, how it's just written down, very easy going, everybody can contribute if something changes, and so on and so on. And I can use that information now to really gain insights in the process problems that we have and how to fix that in the system. So what I do now is I open my AI tool of choice. In that case, it's Claude, but we can do that with any other AI chat interface as well. And here we see that I can just ask very simple questions. And the first question I want to ask is, let's discover process problems in the mpmX demo P2P app on the demo server and generate suggestions what we should change in the process descriptions that we have seen right now to transform and enhance the process. And it's just looking on this application, getting some insight, where is the application, it has found it now. And it just asked me which time period should we analyze. We decided for the full history, 2024 to 2026. And we select all the problems that it can find. And the great thing is, when we just scroll a little bit down, it's using the digital twin of the process to really understand all the business process problems. And the central finding is here directly. The QWiki pages describe a clean 10-step happy path, but only 2% of the real cases actually follow this perfect path. And it runs in 7,979 distinct variants. So that's pretty interesting. On the other hand, we also see that it's not improving at all. I talked about the action problem, right? So we see that in 2024, 2025, and so on, the conformance is still very, very bad. We even see that the first time right KPIs about how the process is happening is just slightly improving. Rework is also kind of stalled, so nothing really happening in the process. And of course, as I said before, I want to give some I want to get some advice how I fix that. But before that, it's even giving me some insight that this problem exposes me in regards to working capital. So there is something like realizable cash discount across all cases. So it's really easy to find a sponsor for that to fix it, because it really gives us the problem that we lose cash day by day because the problem is not, the process is not working in the way it should work. So what should we change? And here we get some nice advices. So what we should change. So for example, the material procurement process should be optimized And right now we have this 10-step flow, but we should add a reference process and a conformance goal. We should add some known deviations and exception handling. Sorry for the German in here. But we should also fill some KPIs in here to have a benchmark against it. And we also should optimize the PO creation process, and so on and so on. And what I like most is I get now these recommendations and I can directly say, okay, please put these findings as a comment to the corresponding page so that I can discuss with the process managers to optimize it. And we've seen it in here before. So when I go back to my browser and show you the wiki page, that we have seen here is my process description. We have this comment in here automatically generated by AI with recommendations what we should do in here. But that's not even everything that we can do. We can even go one step further, and that's what I wanted to show you now. So of course I don't want to do that only once and then, you know, ask the AI agent next time to do this for me. I would like to create an AI agent that keeps track of this conformance so that my teams can have a look on that immediately and not having to use, you know, the complex process mining application. And here is it. Yeah, let's create the AI agent, and it's creating the agent directly in here in Claude. And for all of you who might know that, we can of course use that agent in here. It gives me some good overview about the conformance against the process documentation, the automation right, first time right, and so on. Even we see some measure, series and drift detection, and so on and so on. But the really great thing is, of course, this is now in Claude. I want to publish this agent now to mpmX AI so that I can really publish it across the entire organization with enterprise governance, with security applied, with everything in there. And it's just one prompt away. So what I did here, I published this P2P Process Guardian as an so-called MCP app on mpmX AI. And I will show you this right now, how this works. So I go back to my browser. I open the MCP app section on mpmX AI, and here it is. A published application in my web interface of mpmX AI, directly there. Every time, actually data, near real-time data, so I can see the evolution and see the assessment on live data day by day whenever I want to have it. And that's exactly the thing I wanted to share with you today. And at the end, when we bring it to a nutshell, we are in the situation that deviations stop being alerts, they become decision inputs, meaning deviations become visible. You have seen that. It is interpreted against the standard. We get some proposals how to fix that, the execution, or to revise the standard. The standard generates itself and the agents work on the new standard, the loop restarts. And that's the closed loop. I wanted to show you how we think that agents will help us in the future with all the disruption going on to continuously increase our process performance within organization.